Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have a flip through of my 2022 December daily. I'm so excited to show this to you. It's a really thick album. I have a lot of interactive elements in it, so let's dive in. I do have a video that shows the kit that I made to create this December daily, and I will link that below in the more information below this video. Here's my cover. I added some ribbon here and some die cuts. This is popped up on foam to give it some dimension. There's a little bit of stamping, a chipboard 22 for the year, and then I embellished with some Tim Holtz gold pearls, flatback pearls. Opening the album, we start with a cut file that I backed. This is a Paige Evans cut file. I backed it with Vicki Boutin Evergreen and Holly papers. And then I embellished with sequins, and I also put Wink of Stella shimmer on the green parts here. On the back of that, I have a photo of each member of the family, along with our ages on the back of that. I next made just a simple vellum page. This is the star vellum that came with the Vicki Boutin Warm Wishes collection. So I just made this as just a page to break apart sort of my intro from my stories. So I have 25 stories in this book. The first story here is about writing letters to Santa. And what I did was I took these envelopes, I fussy cut them out of one of the Vicki Boutin Evergreen and Holly papers, and then I made little cards, and I put the photos in the cards, and then they slide into the envelope like this. So since this page was all about writing our letters to Santa, I thought it was only appropriate that I made it look like little Christmas cards or little letters, Christmas letters being sent out. I used Tim Holtz's Christmas rub-ons for this page as well, because there's a lot of sort of postal themed elements in that pack, so I included them on here for a little sort of a postage-y touch. Page 2, story 2, is about getting crafty with my little guy, and I have this flip up so that here he is with his reindeer ornament, and then I flip it up, and with a Christmas ornament, with a Christmas tree picture that we made, just some embellishments. These are some wood veneer snowflakes that I heat embossed with lumberjack plaid embossing glaze. If you are a member of the My Little Scrapbook Store Scrapbooking Layouts and More group, you'll see that I have done a live on making this fold out page. So this is gold shimmer vellum that I got from Stampin' Up, and then I heat embossed in gold and in lumberjack plaid these close to my heart. I guess they're poinsettias, and then these little things. I fussy cut them out just to make sort of a wreath on this semicircle page. And it folds out like this. So just pictures of friends. At a tree lighting, this is an ink blot shop stamp that I gold embossed to sort of frame out my photo. When you flip it this way, I have my journaling here and 4 more photos. I turn it over, and I have on here, this is a book that we were reading a lot of this year, my kids, so green is for Christmas, so I just did a quick page about this, just saying that we read this book over 10 times during the holiday season. Lots of layering, some scraps of a mixed media page that I made, and I add some gold Wink of Stella to the stars here just to give them some shimmer. I went a little crazy with the splatters and got them on my photo, but I'm not too worried about that. Now I also have a live video in the Scrapbooking Layouts and More Facebook group for this bag page that I made. So this is just a craft gift bag, and I used an ink blending tool to put lumberjack plaid distress oxide on here. Then what I did was I used a Vicki Boutin stencil, and I put texture paste through that, and then I put iridescent glitter on top of that. These are just splatters of gold mist and white mist. I embellished with my number, a tag, some chipboard, and then if you pull this out, you have a giant tag here. And this is all the stories about our elf coming to visit, and I used some more of those rub-ons here. The rub-ons work well on photos too, in case you were wondering. And then on the back, I just have my journaling, and I had a lot to say, so I just typed it up and put it on the tag. And I finished off the top of the tag with some ribbon. There's some machine stitching around the top. So that's story 5. Moving on, we have story number 6, which I just made on the back of the bag. And that is just about my son sitting here with the Amazon Echo, learning the lyrics to the 12 Days of Christmas. My little guy playing the slide flute along with our Mickey Mouse band. So just another simple page, but it's outside the page protector. Then let me just cover up the photo here. So this is just another outside of the page protector 6x8, about some birthdays that we celebrated in the month of December. Here is just a pocket page that I made about how happy I was to be named to the Scrap the Boys design team. Another pocket page about just shopping local. My Starbucks cup here. And so what I did here was I paper pierced. This is a stamp. So I paper pieced all the different parts of the stamp together rather than coloring the stamp in. Then this is our annual trip to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So I made this into a pocket here. I love the lights going across the top and the gifts, and I stenciled all these little peppermints on the back and used thickers to write out TSO. I put a little tab on my ticket stub to keep in here. And then I just have 4 photos on tags. These are tags that were just from one of the cut apart sheets in the Vicky Boutin collection. And I put journaling on the back. So just a fun way to focus on my photos there. Here is the annual blowing up. Oh, I need to glue this. I'll have to come back and glue this page down a bit better. The annual blowing up of the inflatables inside of our house, because we're crazy like that. And then you can pull this little tag out with my journaling on it. So that's day 13. Day 14 has a little flip out. This is just about opening our mailbox one day and seeing a piece of origami inside of our mailbox. Our mailman is an origami artist, and he always, when we leave him his gift, a few days later, he always leaves a piece of origami to thank us in our mailbox. So that's always a fun little holiday surprise. 15 is about the My Little Scrapbook Store design team and how we all got on a chat to open our Christmas gifts from Michelle, who owns the store. And then this can be taken out because the journaling is sideways, so you can take the card out to read it. "16 is a story about how my little guy had a chocolate advent calendar, and instead of eating the chocolates, he was collecting the chocolates, and they were a lot of little chocolate balls. He's playing with them, rolling them around on the floor, and I accidentally stepped on one, and you would have thought it was the end of the world. So I snapped a picture of the smushed chocolate, and I had to record that story. Story 17. This is made from a Elizabeth Crafts die. It's just a pocket with a large tag inside, and this is about my Rainbow Bright ornament and how she was dropped not once but twice and was decapitated. So you pull this out and there's a little silly photo of me, and then on the back I used the thickers that said Merry and Bright as a little nod to Rainbow Bright. So that just slides right in there. And turn the page. And 18 is a double page spread. So let me take this out because this is a shaker. So I created this by punching out all of these Christmas trees in green paper And then I have made a little shaker using some frames and some die cuts from the Vicki Boutin collection. And this is a tube of fake snow that I got in the dollar bin at Target. And I just made a fun little shaker. Oh my goodness. My tag is interfering with me trying to get this back into the binder. There we go. Then opposite that, I took this pre-printed page that came with this album, and I just put 4 photos of us decorating the tree and choosing our ornaments. I used a lot of rub-ons on here and some gold puffy stars. 19 is about decorating our gingerbread houses, or gingerbread house. We only had one. So I did a simple grid design here and made an I Want Candy title and just added a few embellishments. On the right is a picture of the finished house. And then if you flip this up on these labels here, I have the journaling about how the boys wanted me to use the icing that came in the kit to write their names. And it looks a little bit like something out of a horror movie because it was very runny icing. We go to page 20, story 20. This is our greeting card for the year. So I put this on a hinge. And what I did was, and it looks like there might have been some reaction with the glue because I can see discoloration. That's a shame. But what I did was I made a cardstock hinge. So I just took like a 1/2 inch piece of cardstock and scored it at 1/4 inch and made a hinge that way. And then I used wet glue to glue the card onto the hinge and then glue the hinge onto the backing paper. And then I covered it with washi to make it look pretty. But I feel like this is a really secure hinge and it's not going anywhere. Underneath the card is an envelope from the Vicki Boutin ephemera, and I wrote our card at the top in her thickers. And then I did my journaling on this piece, so you can pull that out to read the journaling. And then I used a gold gel pen just to add some stitching on the envelope. Story 21 is just the simple pocket page. I was starting to fizzle out a little bit. I can always tell when I'm fizzling out which pages I start to kind of lose my mojo on the project, and then I usually get, you know, excited again as I get towards the end. So here's page 21, just a simple page with some layering. I put in some decorative strips on this side. 22, let me just pop this out real quick. So for 22, I talk about the stamps that we have for our Christmas cards. So we got these cute otter stamps and these little elf stamps, and I used a postage stamp punch and some scraps to stamp out a ton of postage stamps. Most of them are covered up by now with all of the embellishments and photos, but I still thought it was a fun idea to sort of mimic that shape in the background, you know, to go with the theme of mailing out our Christmas cards. Story 23 is about me doing my annual cookie baking and packing up all of the cookies in their care packages for people. So what I did was I took 3 tag cut aparts and I hinged them. So when you flip them open, you can see there's the platter of cookies, there's the boxes, the care packages I wrap up, and some platters. I took a stamp and did faux stitching on the edges of each tag, and then a little bit of faux stitching at the top and bottom of the page. Now, let me see. Okay, I have to cover this photo. Sorry about that. So here's Christmas Eve. I have a small amount of journaling about the 5 kids in the family and what ages they are in the picture. Once again, I started to bring in some of the elements that I used at the beginning of the album and the end of the album. So I have this poinsettia embossed with gold embossing powder. Once again, I brought in gold stitching around, and then all of these embellishments are edged with this, let's show it to you, this Stickles glitter gel. And what's cool about it is that it has little stars in it. So every once in a while, like at the very bottom of this, oh what fun, I see a little star. So it's really, really cute and adds just the right amount of sparkle to the page. Here's page 25, and this is the final story in my album. This is just the 4 of us on Christmas morning in our Christmas jammies. And these are some wood veneers from Shadney's shop. Just says stop jammy time, and then a little pair of pajamas here. So I usually do a bunch of 12 by 12 layouts about Christmas morning and Christmas Day. So I just like to capture a family photo in here. And then let me see, because I know we have an address here. I don't want to show that. So here is the final page. Because of the way the book happened, I did have a blank page here. So I just did a layered page of 2 pattern papers. I did some tearing and glued some strips here. Wonder of the Season, puffy thicker. I added December 25th and wood veneer. And then I took this Stickles glitter gel and I just brushed it around the edges to add some sparkle. And you can really see the stars here. It looks really shiny and pretty, and I love it. Then I always like to include certain Christmas cards, and here's the boys' letters from Santa. So I just took a 6x8 page protector and I slid all of the cards that I'm keeping and the letters in that page protector. So that's it. That is my December documented album for 2022. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. If you liked my video, I would really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the bell so that you're notified whenever I post new content to my page. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.